Hey guys, and welcome to FanCast. We're very grateful to be recording from the historic St Kilda Sports Club, the oldest locker room in the Southern Hemisphere. Join us on the bench where we talk all things footy. We're fans, and this is FanCast. G'day FanCasters, and welcome to another episode here on the pod where we have a proper footy chat. Today we are joined by a very special guest, one who I imagine would have been a lot happier had things been just a little bit different on the weekend. Cal, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, good. Good. All the way from WA.
All the way from WA.
Yeah, look, you're not wrong. But anyway, what can you do? That's sport, eh?
That's sport, mate. Steveo, how you doing?
Doing great, mate, as always. So, yeah, I'm super pumped to get into the grand final special.
Always good, eh?
Podcast this evening.
Absolutely. I mean, you were both at the game, were you not?
Yes.
Not together, of course, but
No.
you were both at the game.
Both of the game. Yeah. Paid for the top premium that you can for a prelim without being an MCC member coming from Perth. So, yeah, mate, forked out just to watch the Cats. Yep. You know, I was like, no, we're going to get up here, aren't we?
Seems fair,
Don't
doesn't
worry
it?
about it.
Seems fair, doesn't it? He pays top dollar. I got in for nothing. I only come from WA to come.
But I'm still going to the grand final, though. So,
Oh, well done.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you've taken some extended period. I mean, you were that confident that the Cats were going to make it.
well, everyone was saying that back home. Everyone was saying, like, hey, mate, the Geelong haven't made it yet. I'm like, look, you know what? If I'm going to be at the prelim, there's going to be a likelihood that we're getting through.
Yep.
Yeah, we didn't, but I think the experience is still going to be something that I'll never live down. And I said it in 22. Like, I'm not going to regret it.
Like, I reckon that's a smart move because you see how much of a disaster it is trying to get a ticket in the last week for the grand final,
Big
where
time.
you just go, you know what, prelim, we're at home. You know,
Well,
I'm happy to come.
It was looking in our favour, wasn't
Yeah.
it? You know, and the history with Brisbane, I think they hadn't beaten us for 20 years from memory. The past 20 times that we played them, I think they're 4-16 against us. Their finals history, they say they're 4-5 at the G, but I'm fairly certain that's including the early 2000s. So I was like, you know what? No, here we go. We could be on here. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be, so it'll be more of a neutral perspective on Saturday.
I was so confident that you guys would win. I tipped you guys by 40 plus.
My dad put $100 for them to win by 50, I think. So at halftime, he was like, "No, we could be on here. We could be on." But
It was looking like that. I'll tell you what, there was a good stretch there from Geelong with about around the 16 to 22 minute mark of the second quarter where you got up to, what was it, a 3-4 goal lead?
I think we actually, it was something around there, but I think we kicked 5 on the trot from memory.
Yep.
And we've done that regularly throughout the season. Like, you know, there's been periods where we've just slingshotted and then the momentum's just been with us. And I think my concern, I remember going to the loo at half time and, you know, I didn't realise how shit it is at the MCG trying to go to the toilet. But I was waiting in there for, 10 minutes just contemplating on everything. I was like, you know what, we could be on here. But then I was like, well, that's the thing. Like, footy this season has been ebbs and flows. You know, this season's been like, look at Hawthorn. You know, starting at 0-5 and then almost making a prelim. So
the most sporadic season I can recall, where it's just, there's a bit, like Sydney were good. And then they dropped off a fair bit. Now they're, making another grand final. But you just had all these other teams. Like Carlton were looking good. They dropped off. Essendon were looking good. Sorry, Joe. They dropped off.
Same with Collingwood.
It was that edge. We mistook the edge and thought it was edge of a cliff rather than Essendon edge.
I think around 18 or something rather. Like, obviously, Geelong started 7-0. And then we went on a period there where we almost lost to Richmond down at GMHBA.
Yeah.
So, I think at one point we were 8-6 or something ridiculous. And I was like, look, we're going to be lucky here to make finals. So, and even us finishing top 3, Brisbane dropping that game, I think it was against Collingwood, was it?
Yeah, the Collingwood game. And then I think the previous week
they
as
choked
well,
it up. Yeah.
They kicked
GWS,
out themselves with the Giants game.
Yeah. So, obviously, it was like, oh, beautiful. Brisbane have done us a solid here. But no, they certainly haven't, have they?
They came back. They cashed in that receipt, unfortunately.
No, big time.
No, this season has ebbed and flowed more than that Brian Myers kick. Seriously. Like the way
he's done that twice now. Did you see the one that he kicked in Perth?
Yes.
I remember sitting on the boundary, or not on the boundary, just like the third tier watching that. And I've gone, fuck off, you have not kicked this. And I was looking there sitting with my mates.
Cameron had the celebration, hands on head.
Mate, and he's done it again at the G. I thought, like, there's no fluke. And then he's done the cross, the little 5 minutes before. Yeah. Fuck.
And you immediately thought, Leo Messi.
My head immediately went there.
Did you see the edit video of the Messi commentary.
Correct.
Get it, Messi, and cut it, Messi, and cut it, Messi. You get it, Messi, you get it, Messi. Go, go.
No, that was good. That was good. I think it was someone put like an AI footage of like Messi on his face whilst he was cross that in. But
yes,
he's someone you want in your team, just quietly.
100%. No, Jared Waitley, you are absolutely correct, mate. No, he is the Messi of the AFL. But
I still have a question though for his parents,
What?
Like,
What's the question?
between Brian and Ryan, like where are you going?
Ryan.
They've gone Grind. They've gone in the middle.
I've heard his brother and sisters as well have interesting names. I don't know what.
What, Grandin or something?
Yeah.
Grandin and
Grandin and
what would the sister's name be called?
I was going to say Georgette, but that's correct. Good, I don't know. Good Jennifer, I don't know. Something ridiculous. Not quite as ridiculous as Port Adelaide though. That was quite pathetic. Hawthorn had to have gone through it, unfortunately. Would have saved us a snore fest on Friday night.
Yeah. It was just not a great game. I think I turned it off at halftime. I was just like, I know Port aren't going to win. So I'm just like,
I think most people were watching it just purely because of the, with football this season, like we said, ebbs and flows. Like you never know what's going to happen.
No, you don't.
Like, I purely watched that and stayed at the pub watching that with my dad because I was like, you know what? Anything can happen here. Like it's possible, at halftime, I think it's just under 30 points.
Yep.
Obviously they weren't going to get up.
Nah.
But yeah, it was remarkable. Well, mate, when they got the reverse Coleman plane down back, that's Zerk Thatcher, I don't know.
Zerk Thatcher. Oh my God. Honestly, I don't know what Port Adelaide were thinking. Like he legit won the reverse Coleman medal and immediately the next year, Port's like,
got him in a
we
prelim.
want him.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Not even a prelim. You know what I mean? Like Port's like, we want this guy.
Oh, it makes no sense because, like, obviously Port Adelaide also had the likes of Quinton Narkle, Francis Evans, Radagalia, the three Geelong boys. And, like, you looked at them. Radagalia has, he was good for a period there when he's playing for the Cats down back. But even still, I didn't have any confidence in him.
No.
Like, don't get me wrong. He's a good footballer, but they put him up forward and he wasn't doing too much either. And I think, like, I don't know if you guys saw Quinton Narkle, but the Sparkle Narkle did struggle on Friday.
We had Sparkle Narkle in our VFL side.
And then
before
Port
took him.
Yeah.
So again, you just don't take people from Essendon. Like you didn't learn from Marazio Fantasia. You know what I mean? Like they took Razzle from us.
Yeah. He hasn't done much at Carlton, has he?
Exactly. Like just don't take Essendon players. You'll do much better without us.
Except Massimo.
Except for Massimo. Well played.
Was he in mid-season draft at the Bombers?
Yeah, he was.
You guys,
he was at the Richmond VFL.
Oh, well, you guys got 2 mid-season draft picks that have been in your top 5.
And then our
John Newcomb and
the Duke.
Old mate.
And then don't forget big old Stixie, Brandon Ryan.
Oh,
we somehow turned him into a second-round pick and got Chol. So I know he wasn't great in the finals.
You've actually done well with Chol.
Selling high.
Yeah, correct.
You've done really well. It's like when somehow Geelong got pick 7 and bloody Jack Bowes from Gold Coast. Like,
how
have we managed to
get
that?
Well, remember the whole.
That's just an outright steal.
I think we got pick 7. I think I might have that wrong.
Pick 7 plus Bowes.
Yeah.
Bowes was the steak knives.
Oh, mate.
It was ridiculous. They had to get rid of the salary because they had too much on the books. They had to get rid of Bowes and they're like, please take pick 7 as well to sweeten the deal. Like freaking Gold Coast, the most incompetent, inept management in the world.
And you got to remember as well the trade last year with the Salva Radagalia to Port Adelaide. Remember Geelong were haggling over a pick in the semis?
We were very, 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 very. We held it. Hey.
Yeah.
We took
Do you know
our
who
time.
you took?
Not from memory, hey.
What? No, you do.
Lawson Humphries.
Don't even tell us that.
That's right. I remember we spoke about this.
You know this.
No, I do, and I don't know how I got that wrong, but mate, I remember watching Lawson Humphries on the weekend, and there was I don't know if you guys remember that play where they've entered inside forward 50.
Yep.
He's coming out the back. I can't remember if he was on Hipwood or he was on one of the small forwards, but he's brought it to ground, he's picked it up, and he's run the length of the Flemington straight on the wing.
Yeah.
Yes, his delivery, like obviously I think we had Shannon Neal or Henry out the back, and he just missed the kick. But
he ran 500,000 kilometres. Of course he's tired.
Mate, for someone like, imagine getting him over Radagalia.
Mate.
I mean, Humphries is already a better player.
He's played only 10 plus games. Yeah. He played in a prelim and he's probably in our top, in my opinion, he's probably in our top 5 on the weekend.
He looks like he's played 200.
Good on him.
Yeah.
And he's a West Australian fella as well. So
Yeah. Shout out to Lawson.
shout out to Lawson, mate.
Why are
Yeah.
you back for the Cats if you're out from WA?
Yeah, fun fact that, essentially, everyone always asks me this because obviously, like, I've got it was either West Coast or Freo. I remember going to a.
Not Freo, surely.
No, I remember
Sorry,
all my mates are massive Freo supporters, right? Even my partner she's a massive Freo supporter too. And, I remember going to a game vividly when I was 4 with Dad, and they played Carlton. And I profusely remember my dad just absolutely fucking losing his shit. I remember sitting there on the way home getting chicken treat and just going, not supporting this club. I don't want to be going through this week in, week out, because Dad always was pissed off when he went to the football. And I remember the following week, like, my mate had a cat and I liked cats and my name began with C. So I was just like, you know what, I'm going to go for Geelong.
Yeah, right.
And I actually do remember, so in 05, I was like, I've made the wrong decision here, because watching bloody Nick Davis tear us apart in the fourth quarter.
Nick Davis.
That was unbelievable. But I've picked well.
Bloody decision.
I think I picked well. What was it? 14 or 13 prelims in the past 18 years or seasons. So
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not horrible, is it?
So you know how to pick them.
Apparently so, yeah.
It's not too bad. Unfortunately, Dad didn't pick it right with the $100 bet. But
no, I
can't wait for his grand final tip then.
My grand final tip?
Well, not yet.
We'll leave it for the tip video. We'll leave it for the tip video. We do the tip on the side. But I'm sure you didn't tip. I mean, the way that was unbelievable, that game. I mean, I don't talk about Sydney Port because that game
there wasn't a lot happening in that one.
It was crap. I mean, you've got reverse Coleman on one side and then you've got Charlie Dixon on the other. And it's just like...
what are your guys' thoughts on Dixon? Like, so Blitzarves gave him a bath in that qualifying final. But
yeah.
Like, how is he still on an AFL list? How did he get... I know they don't... I think Marshall was injured.
Yeah,
Georgiadis.
He was injured.
Like,
Francis Evans was dropped to bring back Dixon.
Do they have another tall? I
don't think they do.
Marshall was injured.
He
so
was. Yeah. And then they
Dixon.
still had Georgiadis, and they had that young fella who played against Freo over in the West. Not Ollie Lord, no. The other fella. McKenty. No, not McKenty. I can't remember his name. But
Vicentini.
I think so, yeah.
But he's a ruck.
Doesn't matter. I reckon he would have done a better job than Dixon.
Oh, I would have done a better job than Dixon.
Fucking hell.
I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, Charlie. Don't punch me. You're a very aggressive, angry-looking man. But you honestly just didn't channel it on the field. Like, it was... And that's why as soon as I saw that he was a late out against Hawthorn, I thought, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
What a real chance. And then they brought back. I'm like, oh, there's no way they're going to win. There's no way they're going to win with Charlie Dixon back in the side.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but watching that game, as much as it was difficult to watch that game, there was opportunities there where you look at Amadi down the other end, or McDonald, or even Luke Parker at one point, like when they were going on for that contested mark, they were, instead of him, like he wasn't even bringing it to ground. He was missing the ball.
Yeah.
And even in the ruck, I remember he was missing the ball. He wasn't even getting off the ground, and Grundy gave him a bath, and so did McLean. So, don't know. Will he be playing on next year?
No.
He better not.
I wouldn't have thought now that Jack Lukosius has requested a trade to Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
And that was as of today, hey, and his relationship was it with Rosie? His relationship with Rosie, I think he said got him over the line.
Yeah, it was the friendship with Rosie. And
I love a friendship with
Rosie. I was
Rosie.
also sort of thinking, like, wouldn't he be good mates with Rankin? But
yeah, because Lukosius is originally a South Australian boy, and he came up with those fellas, didn't he?
Correct.
Yeah.
Mate, you were talking about Grundy having an absolute feast out. I mean, what's Big O's now got his shoulder dislocated twice, the poor man. I love Big O. He's very underrated, underappreciated.
There's always a heartbreaking story when it comes to a grand final. There's
Yeah,
always
all the
someone in doubt,
all the time,
ruled out, so.
Because who was it last year? Did someone miss out from Collingwood?
Noble.
Was it Noble? Did Taylor Adams miss out as well on injury?
And Taylor Adams as well.
So both
Noble and Adams.
And then Adams is probably going to happen again. Yep. I don't see him getting picked. Don't even know how Mills is getting back in the side.
I'm not sure if they play Callum Mills. It's not exactly like he was playing great footy heading into.
He was.
Well, no, because he'd missed so much. It was like Will Day.
Correct.
Yeah. Like Will Day I think he polled a couple of 3 voters last night, but it took him a couple of weeks to get back into it, and then he hurt himself again. He hurt his collarbone.
So, but I wouldn't be referencing Brownlow Medal vote counts when it comes to the accuracy of how well a person played.
Yeah,
that was a ridiculous count last night.
It's a very good.
Do you reckon? I guess one of the main talking points after the grand final again is, should the umpires be allowed to one, vote. I guess that's a good start. But two, if the umpires, I mean, the umpires will probably always vote it.
You'd think so. You'd think so.
Should they be allowed to check the stats after the game?
I think is the reason why they don't do that is to remove bias. Like, so they don't go, okay, this bloke, like, they don't look at the influence on the game. It's like, well, you can look at, for example, Tom Mitchell's 50 touches.
Yeah.
Yet at halftime, when he had 25, I think he had 0 metres gained. Like, you look at the touch gone, he's had 50. He must have had a field day, which, you know, he did. But I don't know, hey.
I feel like because if you look at the stats, you're going to judge your decision off the stats.
And not off influence.
Then anyone could do that.
Well, is there a debate, though, where you almost get, I don't think they'll ever do this, but where you get the coaches involved with the umpires? Because they've obviously got the coaches award, right? Which,
that's now become a lot more valuable, in my opinion.
In my opinion, the MVP, like Bont's won it numerous times now. I don't know if they would ever do that, but I just think that'd be far more accurate.
I think that'd be tough considering putting umpires and the opposition coaches into the same room after a game. Would be a bit tough.
And I think, it would probably. That's very true. That's very true. So I don't know. I don't think they're going to bring the stats out.
No, they're not.
I personally don't think so.
There was already the big furore and the big roar when Lachie Neale won it. And people were saying, "Oh, what the hell?"
When he won it last year, or the first time last year?
When he won it last year, and people were like, "Wow, how the hell did he win it this time?" You know, like it's came out of the blue. And
then what? Jason Horne-Francis got 3 votes for 13 touches and 33% disposal efficiency.
Like it's ridiculous. That was in the same one. You know what I mean? Like that was in the same.
Can I bring this up?
Of course you can. Anything you want.
Before the Lachie Neale Brownlow Medal, his second one, did anyone ever like how we're doing it now? Just looking for a player getting 3 votes, and I was like, wait, hang on, because I swear there was never this much debate over it until now.
I'd probably agree with you, hey, because I didn't really start to think about it.
No one was talking about it.
Nah, not until
everyone was just like, oh yeah, that's fine. It's Brownlow Medal. You know, there's some twists and turns.
Yeah, it's a Brownlow Medal. There's officials that have gone into it, and it should be completely accurate.
Social media.
Jesus, I've got knocked out concussion protocols, mate. Jesus.
But now social media, you're just seeing posts everywhere. I had this bloke get 3 votes. I looked at the stats. They're people pausing every vote and just going, wait, hang on.
It was like last night.
Let's just check if this is correct.
I remember that one of the games where I think it was Nick Dacos, right? He had 65 fantasy, not that that's involved. He had 15 touches and a goal, all right?
Something at quarter time.
He polled a vote.
At quarter time.
And I've gone, hang on, wait a minute. I remember his brother, I think he had 1 or 2 and 35 plus disposals and
nothing.
Met his game. And I think, that wasn't against Hawthorn, was it? No, it wasn't. No, because I'm thinking of Warple as well. Warple against the Cats on Easter Monday.
Yeah, I don't know how
he had a goal in 37.
Yeah.
And Tanner Bruin got 3 votes that game.
Yeah.
I know he had 15 in one of the quarters, but.
And Bont against the Suns. 32 disposals, 2 goals. I think 11 inside 50s. No votes.
I almost want to give that bloke a hug.
I think the worst I saw was Harrison Petty getting 3 votes
against the Cats?
Against the Cats, where he had 14 touches and 1 goal. So that one really stands out. I mean, the goal umpire must have been, the umpire.
Field umpire.
Yeah, in the forward 50 must have been his dad or something.
Maybe Smith had a role in that and paid the umpires a little bit of money.
Mate, because we know that these votes aren't sacrosanct. I mean, when you look at the fact that Mrs. Dillon.
That's. I was saying to my mates, I feel like you can't
fucking be saying that before the Brownlow. Like, I've gone in there and I've seen that happen. I've just gone in and I'm, highly aroused. I'm highly aroused going into the Brownlow, waiting to watch what's going to happen, and then Bont's not in for a chance. Fuck.
He's not in the mix.
Thanks for letting us know.
Not in the mix. I'm pretty sure a lot of people had him like...
He didn't even get 20 votes. That doesn't help.
He didn't get 20 votes. It's just like, I'm convinced.
What did he finish on, 18 or 19?
19. Like, I'm convinced I'm convinced the umpires think that bloody Bontempelli plays water polo. Like, I don't know what they think he's doing out there.
Mate, watching his games, he was one of the most influential footballers this year.
Correct. That's why he's an all-Australian captain. That's why he won the MVP award.
Exactly.
That's, you can't win these accolades and not be deemed the best on ground.
Yeah. And I still don't know. I reckon it should have flipped roles. Trelaw should have gotten 19 votes, which would have seemed reasonable. And
Correct.
That would have stuffed up a lot of multis as well.
It would have, yeah.
Trelaw getting more votes than Bont.
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Well, mine actually, like, it was looking on there. I think I had Max Holmes for 10. He finished on 10. I had Trelaw for 20 plus. He finished on 26. And I went for a bit of a smoke. He was paying $8, and I put Jakey Waterman for plus 10 votes.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Because I was like, hang on, I think he finished on 7 or 6. So
unlucky.
I was excited.
He got injured.
Was that? Oh,
He was injured during the season.
I know. But anyway, I took a punt because there was a couple of games there where he had 5, 4 plus, and I was like, you know what, Jakey, you might bring me something home here because I'm shocking at betting, hey.
Yeah, no.
Anyway,
the craziest thing, probably the craziest stat I saw about the Brownlow Medal was the fact that Luke Davies-Uniacke finished on 18 votes on a side that won 3 games. He had a bloody good season. While Marcus Bontempelli and the Western Bulldogs made finals, and by far probably one of the best players in the comp, 1 extra vote. That's just unbelievable.
See, the way they'll look at it, right? LDU and Tom Green play very similar, right? They accumulate the ball.
Rowell.
Yeah, they accumulate the ball. And I remember when I look on the AFL app, whenever I'm training and I'm just curious, in AFL fantasy, and I've gone, okay, well, they're accumulative. They might have 12 touches in 1 quarter. I'm like, fuck, he's going all right. I haven't really noticed him. Hasn't really changed the game. Like, don't get me wrong, they're unbelievable footballers, but the likes of Bontempelli, I don't know if you guys remember the goal that he kicked when he played Freo.
What, the one where he's got 3 people hanging up.
I think he had Cox and he had Pearce on his back.
That's in my book. Oh, Harley's was bloody good, but gee, that was a good.
Harley ran in a straight line.
It was a good goal.
Kicked a drop punt.
It was better than the Dacos.
It is, and I think it was just the context of everything, right? Like, you got back in WA, the back paper is Harley Reid Football Club.
Yes.
Like all day, every day, And I reckon they'll be, I don't know what the paper's like today, but I reckon they'll be absolutely frothing him winning goal of the year last year.
Yeah.
And I think there was 1 vote the West Australian put something on Facebook like Harley Reid has absolutely done exceptional on the Brownlow. And it's like, he only got 6 or 7 votes, whereas you look at Sammy Walsh, who finished 4th, I think, in his first year.
Correct.
I totally forgot about that. That's unreal.
And then he got hurt. So, and then he's obviously going to be overshadowed by Cripper. So, but
here was my tip. Cripps was my tip.
I didn't expect him to win by that much.
Did we all stay up and watch?
Yeah.
So I did it right. I was watching, I had it on the side, but I was watching a Collingwood fan channel plays footy. Shout out to you boys.
That would have been
I was watching
funny.
a Collingwood live stream, and I was also watching a Carlton fan live stream as well at the same time. So I was watching 2, trying to get because I knew they were head to head. For me, it was always going to be Bont versus, but it was always going to be Cripps versus Dacos. As the run. And so I just wanted to see them 2, and I'm like commenting both and trying to get people's reactions. So I had a much better time of it. But at the same time, I always thought it was going to be Cripps number 1 and Dacos number 2. Just a question of how close it is and which one comes out on top. But I never would have.
I thought Lockie Neal would have been a lot closer. Yeah.
I mean, how much did Lockie Neal end up finishing on?
Oh, he was in the 20s.
22 votes.
He was in the 20s, yeah.
He was still, it was like 12th, I think. So didn't even finish top 10.
Well, I think there was 1 point there where, and even his reaction said it himself. Like, I think it was like just after round 10, he was on 5 votes or round 15.
Yeah.
And
it was all over by round 9.
They did start slow.
We've had some ripping Brownlow cancer.
Last year was unbelievable.
Last few years have been great.
Correct.
So we were probably due a terrible count, and fair to say.
It was almost like
that was all over by round 10.
Exactly right. Like I remember I going in there, like I said, I was going in, and as all footy fans are, you go in and it's Brownlow night, right? You're excited, you're slightly aroused, you're who's going to win this?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And you get fucking an hour and a half in, and you're just like, all right, let's chuck on, I don't know, Better Homes and Gardens.
Let's wrap this up.
You end up walking out like Angus Brayshaw.
Oh, mate, yeah. Hey, I know this is horrible. Like, his speech was unbelievable.
It was.
I was sitting there like, you know what? Good on you, mate. This is fantastic. But I was watching. I was watching with my mate, and all he's fucking said is, "Who's that?" I've gone, mate. That's Gussie Brayshaw. He's gone.
The helmet.
Fuck, he's gotten fat. Mate, you can't be. Mate, you know who this bloke is and what he's done. Like,
I noticed that too, though.
Good on him.
I think everyone would have said it, but like he said, and we can't really talk because we're not part of the AFL community. We don't know what it's like after retirement. But he brought up a very good point with purpose, and like, mate, once you're out of it, you're like, sometimes it's almost like Shawshank Redemption. If you've seen it, the bloke that old fella that leaves and he's like, well, what the fuck do I do? That's all I've known. So,
yeah.
A good speech, though.
It was a great speech. Yeah. And then you had the music playing, and honestly,
what do we reckon about Dan Sultan? 3 votes, or is he
Zero
will he ever be getting a gig again?
It felt like a wake,
mate. I remember.
I thought someone genuinely had died,
with
and
what?
it was Gus Brayshaw's career. I thought it was a wake for Gus Brayshaw's
I
career.
thought it was a good speech, but gee, it was a bit dour.
Man,
Yeah,
I felt so bad.
But luckily, it got overshadowed by Dan Sultan's performance.
He was very.
Look,
he has a great voice. I like his voice.
he does. Like, and I've heard him perform live before.
Like it?
Well, he's performed live before, and I've gone, you know what, this bloke's actually quite good. But last night, it's almost like, I don't know.
Grammys.
It just, well, you guys remember Meatloaf, right?
Oh, mate, he was
I was almost
favorite.
comparing it to that performance.
Life was better.
Yeah, probably so. Almost like can tell you right now that I'm probably not that keen for Katy Perry on the weekend when I'm at the G, but
no,
that'll
they
be
did it this
interesting,
one on
won't
purpose. They did this one on purpose.
You reckon?
They had this type of music,
Yep.
so that the bangers will come from Katy
Mate, watch.
Perry.
I'll say this now. When Raw comes on, I'll be fucking dancing.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear the big debate during the week where the AFL and Katy Perry's crew were just sort of fighting over because Katy Perry wanted to play 2 new. I can't believe we're talking about Katy Perry on
How does he know all this information, eh?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Mate.
She wanted to play 2 songs from a new album, and the AFL's just gone, no, fuck that. They won't
play your popular music.
Aussies won't know that. Play your bangers.
Yeah.
And it was like, but I think.
No, it's a fair point because I couldn't. The only song that I really know is. Well, all I remember is Snoop Dogg and her lying on a cloud.
Do you ever feel like a black
Is that the song? No, I don't think it's California Girls.
I'm talking about Fireworks, isn't it?
And was that on MasterChef?
I hope they don't play Fireworks. That's such a a bit of an interesting start to proceedings. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag?
Yeah, that's I always every time.
Yeah,
man, every time we're playing basketball out in school in the schoolyard and we saw a plastic bag fly, we'd always start singing that song. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag? It's the most ridiculous, random start to any potential song.
She has to play
Fireworks.
She has to play.
I think that's what she's going to open with. But look,
it can't be Raw. Raw has to be the finale.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Surely.
Yeah.
Give me Raw.
You'd think so.
And then the lines come out to that.
Put it this way, I'm as excited as as the line that it will be at the G at halftime at the toilets to watch Katy Perry, if I'm honest with you. So
yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'll say that now and then I'll get there and be like, fuck, this is sick. I'll be next to the bloke next to me. It's like, this is mint. Fuck, I've come all the way from WA.
Because Katy Perry doesn't been in the WA.
I've been a fan for 10 years.
I wonder if there'll be people, because I know it happens with Robbie Williams, where people were just buying grand final tickets just to watch him and then pissed off.
Fuck.
I wonder if that...
And Delta, they were a great duo.
What year was Delta Goodwin? Was she 22 as well?
I think they were together.
Yeah, she was, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, well, I missed it because I remember I'd finished work. This was back in Western Australia, and I was absolutely beside myself with the fact I didn't make the trip over. Like, I was going to drive over in my first car in my 98 VT Holden Commodore. I was going to drive over in the Commodore.
Where would you have stayed?
Mate,
Augusta, or?
No, genuinely, I would have driven over and I would have slept anywhere to watch the GF or be in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And and I missed the not the halftime show, but I missed the start because I remember I finished work late. And my mate's a Freo supporter. He's like, nah, it's all right. We don't mind if we miss the first quarter. I'm sitting there, the only Cats man out of 50.
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, exactly.
And I actually ran to where we're going to go watch the footy. I was like, I'm not fucking waiting for you. No way I'm missing the grand final.
No, absolutely not.
You know?
Absolutely not. So that's it. After this, no more.
No more footy.
Yeah, it's a bit...
How do you guys
I'm
usually
sad
feel?
now.
How do you guys usually feel after a bit of a once the footy's done?
Yeah.
Because for me personally, I like having that break because a lot of footy consumed ever since March. I like having that break probably till the end of the year. Then when it hits late January, I'm like, okay, now
you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
I reckon it's healthy. Like
100%,
because like anything, if you were to be consumed by it 24/7, you're gonna get pretty sick and resent it pretty quickly, right? So. But I also, I don't know. I do like it because when it comes around March time, April, and then Feb, saying I'm fucking ready to go, right? But even still, like the Big Bash, mate, like I get around that.
Well, you guys, I can understand you guys getting sick of finals all the time, but like my team tends to take September off. So I tend to go. I tend to go into holiday mode, break mode from football.
They feel sick of
No, you go into holiday mode in March, don't you? Round two.
We tend to get excited around the trade period because we always win the trade and the draft, but unfortunately, never really amounts to anything. So,
well, you look at your recent draft picks. What Nick Cox, Jones, McGrath. Perkins is a very, very, very good example.
Zach Reed.
2020 was like the worst draft for your mob to have
three top 10
when
picks.
no one was playing footy, you had no research.
What was the highest pick for Essendon? What did they have? What did you guys have at Essendon?
We had 5, 6, 7. We had picks 5, 6, 7 in that COVID draft.
6, 7, 8. No?
And who else could have you gotten?
6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3.
Potato.
Because you also picked up, obviously, McGrath was the number 1 draft pick.
Yes.
Who else was in that top 10? I remember you mentioning beforehand.
Well, there was McCluggage.
McCluggage, yeah.
Tom Green.
Oh, was Tom Green in the same draft as McCluggage?
Tom Green, or was it actually...
Tom Green was a bit...
No, it wasn't Tom Green. Sorry,
Tom Green's younger than McCluggage, yeah.
No, it was another GWS. Taranto. Sorry, it was Taranto, not Tom
Timmy
Green.
Taranto. Yeah, that's
Taranto.
right.
He's a butcher as well of the football.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, you debate it, you go, okay, it's almost like Dangerfield. Like, his disposal efficiency inside forward 50, shit, but that's not why you got him in the team. Like...
Well, he can kick goals.
Yeah.
And break lines.
Well, that's what
really
made his game. Yeah.
Or hitting targets.
Well, he also plays for Richmond, so.
Well, he fits in Richmond perfectly, in my opinion.
Well, because he's not going to have a lot of pressure on him, right?
No,
exactly.
no.
They're rebuilding team. They're gutting everyone. All these senior players are going to get drafted.
Is Dusty retiring or is he going to the Gold Coast?
Lock it in, he's going to Gold Coast.
Mate, that was a funny one.
I said that as soon as he was announcing retirement.
It's like Dimmer. Yeah. Dimmer's like, I'm done. My love of footy gone.
No, you're not, mate.
Legit, the next year, he's already off the Gold Coast.
Well,
piss off.
I mean, did you ever... I'm not sure if you guys ever read like his statements and like his body language, Dusty's body language, where it never really said he was retiring. It just was more thanking Richmond, where it's just like, I think he was just, keeping the door open for Dimmer. Let's have a chat.
Yeah, I think though, you make a fair point. I always thought that. I never thought that he was going to retire, right? Because what is he, 31?
Yeah,
32?
something like that. Yeah, 32, I think.
But even still, you look at him and his performance that he's had over the past, 2 months, and you've gone, I know he's not doing this, but is he doing it deliberately? I'm sure he wouldn't. Is he just going out there to play football just to roll it through till next year, play his 300s, say thank you to the Richmond fans, and then obviously make his way up north?
I'll say I reckon he's not going. Just for the simple...
I'd like to think so, yeah.
Because... I'm pretty sure there were quite a few interstate games that he didn't travel with to go to. He just stayed in Victoria.
Yes, yeah.
And if he's going to go play for Gold Coast, I feel like there'll be a bit more travel involved.
Well, how many home games do they have this year? 9 or 10? Because I remember they were 9-0 at one point. I think the Suns were.
Yeah, until Ablett did his shoulder.
What?
Oh wait, 9-0.
Ablett's come out of retirement.
The fish.
Apple's come out of retirement.
Can you just say that again?
Can you repeat what you said? I thought you were talking about when Gold Coast were off to that flight.
No, I was saying this year.
How many home games have they had this year? 9-0 until Gary Ablett done his shoulder.
Oh shit!
Is there some 30-year-old gum in that beer that we're unaware of? Oh my god!
I'd love to see Gary Ablett out of retirement. Fucking.
Mate, I'd gladly have him at the Bombers at this point. Wait, we're talking senior or junior?
Yeah, senior's coming out of retirement.
Never said the name. I'm talking about Nathan Ablett.
Oh.
Good on. Still a premiership player, though.
Still a premiership player. Like Billy Frampton.
Mate, funny enough, he was, so where I'm from in Freo, I went to the same high school as him and I went to primary school with his brother, Johnny.
Johnny Frampton.
Johnny Frampton. And then Billy was, he was in year 12 and I was in year 7.
Yeah.
So, and look, I'm biased. Good on him. You know what? He did a job on Harris Andrews in that first half.
Yeah,
you know what?
For sure.
Still a premiership player. He can't take that away from him.
Yeah. Played his role.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Harris Andrews still had equal most marks on the ground.
He did. That happened.
But it resulted in a win. So it's like,
It's all right. It's all right. He was still on the ground, mate. He still contributed.
Yeah, no, good on you, Billy. I like it.
You know.
I'm just salty because
he's better than the reverse Coleman, though.
Oh, I mean, there's only one reverse Coleman every year.
And that usually goes to Zurich Thatcher, doesn't it?
Zurich Thatcher, mate. And he's gonna get the reverse Coleman of the final series.
Well, my question would be like, who's actually more useful, right? Zurich Thatcher down back.
Shit.
Eric Hipwood at the moment.
Or
or tits on a bull?
Tits on a ball.
Tits on a bull?
Yeah. I think so.
I'd almost back that in, no.
It won't let you down. It's just you're not going to test it.
One way to put it.
You're not going to test it. It's not going to concede 10 goals in 2 games.
What are you going to test
in
it,
finals?
No.
What? Sorry.
Tits on a ball.
You're going to test it.
Well, I'll leave that for someone else.
Yeah, fair. Leave that to the professionals, hey?
Leave that to Zach Thatcher, maybe. The reverse Coleman medal. I was just feeling salty about Billy Frampton because I'm just imagining poor big Oscar McInerney, who has been a selfless servant, tried twice to get out there, dislocated shoulder twice. He's going to miss the grand final. In comes Darcy Fort, who absolutely should not be.
He looks like Napoleon Dynamite.
He does.
He should just wear the Mason Cox goggles on the weekend. And
I actually reckon Darcy Fort's all right.
I'll back you up on that. And McInerney is one of those players that, if you play AFL fantasy or you just even watch, he's just consistent.
Yes.
Right? He does his roles at ruckman. He's not necessarily going to be like your Luke Jacksons or your Maxi Gawns where they're going to create a lot of clearances or they're going to get the ground balls and be an aerial threat like he is. But he just does what he needs to do.
I've got a nickname for him that no one will get. I call him the Rhino.
The Rhino.
The Rhino Fort. It's Rhinocort. It's just a nasal spray.
Man, I was about to say, is this not some sort of antihistamine thing?
Say it again. What's his nickname? The Rhino.
So the nasal spray I use is called Rhinocort. So I nicknamed him the Rhino Fort.
That is not catching on. I'm sorry.
No, I told you no one would get it.
Just imagine if I go to the grand final. I go to the grand final on Saturday, just sit next to one of a Brisbane fan. It's a shame that Rhino's not playing today. Who?
Rhino.
The fuck's Rhino?
You don't know who the Rhino is?
Come on, mate. Who's Rhino? The big O. Oh, yeah.
Just
now I get it.
It's a rhino because he's got a big nose. Is it rhino because he's got a big nose reminiscent to a rhino? No. It's rhino.
No. Nasal spray.
Nasal spray.
Nasal spray.
Exactly.
Then they would get it. And then you'd say, oh, yeah, of course. Still not sticking, I don't think.
Everyone in the comments on the YouTube video put in an emoji of a rhino. Is there a rhino emoji?
I don't know. Oh, there must be.
Yeah,
you'd think so.
Chuck down a rhino in the comments.
Rhino for the big O.
Yep.
Rhino O.
Yep.
Oh, no, I see more of it. Anyway, yeah, I rate that.
Joe, next topic.
Joe, you don't look stoked, mate.
What the hell are you on about tonight, mate?
Don't let it simmer. Next topic,
It's
please.
just Gary Ablett, now Rhino. Mate, tell you what.
Yeah, things get always interesting Wednesday. I always say this is completely unscripted. We're unscripted because of this one. Honestly, we love you, Steve. You make this so much fun to watch.
Well, before we know it, Angus Brayshaw will come out of retirement. Close to everything that we've spoken about tonight.
Unfortunately, AFL won't let him.
No, and I don't think he's going to either. I remember reading the because it's Andrew and then his brother Hamish. He's playing for East Perth in the Waffle back in WA.
He was on West Coast list for a couple of years, and then
he's good. He's the captain of East Perth now, and they just lost to. They didn't just lose, but they lost to the Fremantle B grade side. Did you see the Peel Thunder?
The Peel Thunder. Oh yeah, on your Vossi. Yeah, mate, Paddy Voss,
Patrick Voss,
the Bombers on your Vossi.
Ready, Neil Erasmus,
O'Driscoll,
all these AFL
Taberner.
Tabs, he's an absolute crab.
He's gone.
Yeah, well, I guess it was his parting gift.
His parting gift, yeah.
There you go, mate. He's a waffle premiership. Cheers. Mate. He's won more than most of the
Bombers.
Yeah, your words, not mine. Yeah.
Your eyes were saying a lot, don't worry.
Yeah, fair enough. Now,
someone else who's not going to be playing, Gary Rowan, thanks for your services, mate.
Yes.
You guys,
I tell you what.
You guys did him dirty.
Well, I was saying to, pardon my French, I was saying to my mates back home, I was like, we look like the biggest cunt of a football club.
Unbelievable.
He's had 40 staples in his head. He probably knew this, though, I reckon.
His team was never the same.
Do you reckon, because I felt like Gary Rowan would have announced his retirement before saying he's getting delisted. Do you reckon it's a bit of
the decision's been made for him, mate?
Hey, North Melbourne.
See you later, mate. Yeah, cheers. Thanks for your service.
North Melbourne. West Coast, whatever it is, I can play still.
See, I don't think he would do that. I reckon he'd go to a team, and I think a team would go from because he's.
It'd be good depth.
I think you'd pick him up if you're in the premiership window.
Yeah.
Because, mate, I remember watching that qualifying final in 22 against Collingwood, and those 2 set shots that he kicked won us the game. Like in that fourth quarter, he was phenomenal. But I don't know. I reckon there's a part of me that we're probably going to pick him up in the rookie draft.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I think we're trying to create cap and space for the likes of potentially Jackie Martin and Bailey Smith. I'm not sure. So,
well, they might have to. Some club might jump on him because of his ESPN post, where they posted a photo of his on ESPN around the world.
Yeah, he might be playing NBA with LeBron next year. To be fair with you.
Yeah, Lakers pick up.
Yeah, I reckon he might go. Pick 60 or something. Go play with LeBron.
Gary Rowan.
Gary Rowan. Yeah. Just because the world knows about him now, mate, and his ability, aerial ability. So,
but Brian Myers, everyone knows about Brian Myers. The Messi of the competition.
No, he could be playing for Argentina next year. We don't know.
For Argentina. Yeah.
What do you think about the other delistings? There were.
I think we had Phoenix Foster. I think I've got that right. Willis. I think.
I don't know any of these players. We only know Parfit.
Yeah, Parfit. So there was 7. Then we had the old Hawthorn ruckman. Jekka. Look, obviously we're not part of the Geelong Football Club, but I don't know about Mitch Hardy. He should have played AFL this year.
Mitch Hardy. I've heard a bit of what's going on there. How isn't he getting a game?
He was playing in the Sandford, I think, last year.
Yeah, mid-season draft.
Yeah, so we picked him up because our midfield was lacking last year. Like you could clearly see it. Tanner Bruin's still young.
He's very good.
The Maxi Holmeses and the Ollie Dempseys and those, and Dangerfield was on and off injury-wise last year, and obviously we finished 12th last year, but I don't know. I reckon it was pretty stiff that he didn't actually even get a game. I would have loved to have seen him against the likes of a West Coast or North Melbourne, see what he's made of.
Of course.
I reckon it's pretty stiff. But as anything, it's a business at the end of the day. Like we're trying to win a premiership.
Of course.
If you've got Bailey Smith on the table and you need to create cap and player space, you've got Mitch Hardy who's on the verge of 30, hasn't had AFL experience. I think who you're taking, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, straight away that's probably a concern if you're nearly 30,
close to.
And
he's on the later ends of the 20s.
If he can't quite get a game, then it's probably
Well, the other difference is right. Is like look at Sean Manor.
Oh,
right, he's 27, just turned 27.
Unreal.
He is. I do not know how he didn't get picked up. Well, everyone's on their own journey. He probably needed to go through his process with wherever to get to where he is now. But mate, he is phenomenal.
I feel the same way about Nick Martin.
Well, you know what Essendon did, right? So he was playing Subi reserves.
Subi, yeah.
They hit him. Some AFL clubs do that. They hide the players they want to draft so other clubs won't see them.
But he was literally under Subi's nose. It was West Coast feeding team.
I know. At the time, obviously, Greg Clark went from there. Greg Clark was a phenomenal player. Didn't play that many with West Coast. But I'll tell you what, I don't know. Nicky Martin, he's a good footballer. Like, he'll get you goals from the wing. He'll get you, 25 plus.
Yeah.
But his disposal efficiency, what as a Bombers supporter?
Half back is no good. That's why I'd love us to get Dan Houston. Pushes him out of half back.
And then
to play
all
that
that
wing
to still finish 10th.
Martin's at his best when he's wing half forward.
We'll finish 8th and then lose first final. That will always happen. Sorry, what would you say, Steve?
Oh, I just reckon Martin's best as a wing half forward.
For sure.
Martin was in All-Australian contention that year as a winger.
Correct.
Was that what year was that? That wasn't this year. Was it last year?
2023.
Was last year? Yeah.
I remember.
So I don't know
I remember
when
now,
you've got like Redmond and that sort of thing. So yeah, I just found it a bit
odd. The Bombers are a bit of an enigma, but I definitely like if we got Houston, I think it would just perfectly fit a need. He plays halfback, pushes Nick Martin out of halfback, where those kicks can be really hit or miss.
Probably a topic that's gonna the trade period will heat up after the grand final's done. But where do you reckon Stringer's going? Is he staying or?
Oh, Stringer's going to stay. No one's touching him. If anyone's going to touch him, it's the Swans. But I don't think he's so close with his kids. I don't see him traveling interstate to go up to. I actually think Stringer's going to have no choice but to stay, considering these underworld associates, these bad characters that that he's friends with, and his people don't like that. So I think he's forced to actually have a proper preseason.
It's funny though, like he genuinely just decides to when it's his contract year, he decides it. Mate, some of those games I was watching him, I think it was Anzac Day in particular when you drew against the Pies. Him and Langford, they played well. And then I think it was that period. I remember I was watching it in the Kalamunda Hotel back home in WA. I remember sitting there drinking my water as I do. And I just could not believe. I was like, mate, the Bombers could be on here.
Yeah. Well, I thought so too.
Well, just for the season. And then
I declared the lid was off.
Yeah, and then
After we
McAndrews
beat the Giants.
McAndrews just decided to.
Well, I think the problem was the whole club before that, having kicked one goal 9 behinds to get to that point.
Yeah, I know.
To then allow him to just have 2. They kicked 2 straight to our 1 goal 9 in that last quarter.
Did you feel like there was an opportunity there though when you beat Freo? You came close against Collingwood, didn't you? Or did you beat? No, you beat the Pies. You beat the Pies.
That was a good win. But we lost to Adelaide at home, I thought, that's right. The season was slipping away.
The cherry on top as well.
Yeah, I mean, we all
McAndrews kicked that after the siren, eh?
Yeah, he did.
I just can't believe have you seen how big his contract is?
Yeah, 1.2 million.
9 million. 9 years, 12 million, I think.
Yeah.
That's just mad. No, it's not. No, it is madness.
I reckon he can do it. I reckon this guy's got that dog in him. He's got height, athleticism. He can play defense.
It's like Leek Alir for the GWS. Like he was the same. He was unbelievable. And then you got Alir as well. Like they're both very similar players, but they are both. All three of them are exceptional.
Yeah, but McAndrew is much better than Alir.
You reckon?
I reckon he's much better than Alir. I do.
I do reckon though. Like if you go back and watch Sydney play Port, if they didn't have Alir, they would have struggled. He held that back line up.
I wouldn't say he's a lot better than Alir.
I think Alir just has to be in position A. I think Alir.
That's like the one mistake Sydney have made in the past 10 years, moving him on.
Why did they move him on? Was there a strategic reason?
I think it was like
money.
I think it was a salary cap thing.
Yeah, it was money.
Did it allow them to get the likes of Goulden, Warner?
Oh, I guess it eventually helped, but
they wouldn't have known at the
those
point.
guys were academy players.
That's right. Yeah. Well, Chad was from East Freo over in WA.
You're right.
Because he was an Aquinas boy, I think, from memory. And him and Devon Robinson and Luke Jackson were all AC boys. No. Luke Jackson wasn't. He went to Willerton, I think.
See, Alir, I feel like he's only taking the mark if he's in position A. I feel like he's not. If he's out of position, I feel like he gives up on it and tries to go to get.
But
he's
massively improved as a one-on-one defender compared to what he was.
Yeah, if you look at his stats, he's not a Sam Taylor-esque, but
he's kept stability for Port for the last 5 years, and
he's had to. Yeah,
and it didn't cost them barely anything.
I just vividly remember going a little bit off topic here when they were playing Freo last year, and I remember because I'm fairly certain he played for South Fremantle or East Freo. He was from and he came from. I think it was Kenya or South Sudan, one of them, and he came over to WA. So he's obviously got relations over there. And I remember when I was at the game last year, with my partner watching Fremantle lose as per usual. I accidentally ran into his kid. So he's
you hurt the kid?
Well, his kid was running up the stairs.
Don't blame the kid now.
Yeah, but he's running up the stairs, and I've turned. And I was on my phone. He's just run straight into my leg, and I've gone, oh shit!
Did you kick him?
No, I did not kick him.
Oh, sorry, freaking the kid's
sorry,
mate.
It's like when you see a small dog, you're like, how far could you punt that? No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. But no, I felt horrible.
Alir, we love you, bro. Alir,
you're a great footballer.
Mate. We didn't kick your son.
Sorry. Sorry.
He did not kick your son.
No.
It was a pure accident.
Promise.
I promise. Right in front of me. No, it's all good. No, that's all right. Don't worry about it. Mate, someone else who was promised something but wasn't given it. Soldo is,
he's going to St Kilda.
He goes to Port trying to be number one ruck. Guess what? Sorry, we've got Sweet now.
Yeah,
1 year later, he's trying to go somewhere else.
Yeah, but does he go to St Kilda?
He goes to behind Barrow and Marshall.
Yeah, does he go to St Kilda and then they've got the likes of, Hayes? Did he hurt himself again?
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, fuck. Unfortunately, I know footy's tough, but why would you go from, right, so, if you're going to a club, now this is me being biased.
Yeah.
Look at Geelong.
Yeah, look at Geelong. Who's your ruck? Flick subs. Great ruck.
Reece Stanley. Reece is not, he's an athletic ruck, right? He can run around.
He's a dead-eyed dick in front of goal as well.
Oh, mate.
My only reasoning for
you're bringing up a little bit today, aren't you?
Bring up Ging and Soldo is Marshall, who looks very good as a forward, and spend more time forward.
Well, that's where I was thinking. But even for Soldo, I do reckon he has the potential to become a number one ruck. It's like, look at Sweet.
Potential? He's 27.
Well, I know, but look at rucks, mate. Dawn didn't start to really find his straps when he's 26 and 27. But the likes of look at Cherry. He's a great example. He's 25, 26.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Soldo's going to be that caliber, but
he will not be that caliber. No.
He's still a premiership player.
He's a very good player. I must say, he didn't get the chance to shine because he's behind Nank. He was behind Nank the Tank. But when he was solo rucking, I got to say, no, he's actually really good. I prefer him over Sweet. And for me, I find it a really interesting, again, coaching decision from Hinkley, why you would name Dixon again and why you would persist with Sweet.
Was Soldo injured?
No, I think Soldo's available.
Now, my questioning would have been, why,
run the two rucks to go against
That's what I was going to
Grundy.
say. Because Dixon was terrible in the ruck. Well, why wouldn't you have Sweet, right? You know, you're starting ruck. And he did have a good game against Hawthorn.
Sweet and Soldo can't play forward, though.
They can't, but are they better than Dixon?
But we played Draper and
I think it's more of a team structure thing. You don't change things up after winning a semi-final.
That's exactly right. Yeah,
Dixon came in to replace Marshall, who, Port Adelaide saw it as...
Would have Dixon come in if Marshall wasn't injured?
No.
I hope not.
No.
Yeah.
But they saw, all right, Dixon is the next best fit for our structure.
Yeah.
So I sort of see it like you wouldn't want to change up what's happening.
100%. I'm just putting the idea out there because I genuinely believe that Soldo would have done a better job than Dixon.
Because we played.
Yeah, probably would have.
We played when we played against the Swans last year. We played both Draper and Phillips. We did the two rucks and
Phillips
killed him. Yeah, Andrew Phillips. Yeah, exactly. And we killed him.
He's had a couple of.
Was one of them resting forward though?
Yeah. So what happened? One was playing the ruck, and then one would push forward.
Soldo or Sweet of the capabilities.
Yeah.
Of
Well,
that.
you think Draper has the capability to do anything apart from run his gob?
Yeah,
Good
lie down on the ball.
As a podcast though.
Well, as an Essendon fan,
yes.
do you rate Draper?
Not really, no.
What makes
he gives us
what makes you
energy.
not rate him?
I mean, he's not a baby anymore.
Where was he? 24, 23?
He's 25, coming on 26.
See, what you're saying is you probably would expect a little bit more.
I would expect a little bit more. A better ball drop, a better kick, for example. Surely by now you know how to kick the ball and hit and score goals from 30 metres out directly in front without stuffing up.
Well, what do you reckon needs to happen for
him
to actually start to play his role?
He needs to realise that this is a professional game.
Yeah. He might need to have a chat to Brad Ottens, I reckon.
I reckon so.
Yeah.
Make him his son would be really beneficial.
Yeah, I reckon.
Son him, please. Yeah, because I was really excited that we got Goldie across because I thought Goldie would be someone who would instill those values of professionalism because Goldie's someone who's really made the most out of his career and extended longevity.
Well, I've heard that bloke's got a part-time membership to the Essendon retirement home, like the Village.
I feel like he's got shares in there.
Yeah. Because what is he
majority shareholder, which is how we've been able
35.
Well, he's also best buds with Brad Scott.
With Brad Scott.
Yeah, they play lawn bowls every Sunday, don't they?
I'm not sure if Brad does the playing.
I think Brad's behind the scenes just telling, hey,
correct.
Goldie, mate, you need to...
Whatever you want, I'll give it to you.
Mate, I'll be there.
Brad,
hands on hips, helping, guiding the ball.
Yeah, Brad's his water boy, I reckon. Brad will do anything for Goldie. They have a deep
and also for
connection.
Ben Jacobs. Bloody hell, what a love trio they are. Ben Jacobs just follows Brad Scott around everywhere. Isn't he? What is he? Well, he's an assistant coach at your mob.
I swear we're the Essendon Roos.
Is he a stoppage coach? I reckon he's something like a stoppage coach, and it's just
he was actually all right at North. He played for North.
He was a good tagger.
Yeah, he was played all right at
North. His role.
Yeah, he did what he needed to do.
Yeah,
he's a tagger. I mean, what do you expect from taggers? You don't really expect them to win you the game, do you?
To tag.
Didn't see that one coming. Mr. Rhino. Didn't see that one coming. But honestly, all right, this is...
What, like tag, play tag or tag?
Oh, he would have been a really good play tag. He would have been a pain in the arse.
Would you reckon he was playing in the playground whilst, Goldstein and Brad Scott were lawn bowling? He was watching on.
Yeah,
he was playing tag with the kids.
Yeah, could have.
Yeah. Good on you, Jacobs. It's good culture you got down in Essendon.
We got a great culture. They say they're the family team.
Yeah,
the family
not Geelong. Not Geelong.
No, the Hawks.
Well, the Hawks are the family team.
Yeah, we're the Skibbity Sigma.
Yeah, what is that about? I had no idea. Like, I was watching shit Brownlow questions and he's like, Skibbity up to Ginnivan. And he was like,
I feel like
Fuck's this
grey.
about?
I feel like grey hair's coming on me because I don't know what any of it
I
means.
think Sam Mitchell's in the same boat, but he just genuinely just like just fucking deal with it. I
Yeah,
remember,
did you see the video with Josh Garlip of just like the
No, I didn't.
crap
No.
Brownlow questions, and he was asking Sam Mitchell, "Oh, what's
Are you
skibbity?"
talking about the one on Triple M?
No, the other one, Josh Garlip.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Josh
No.
Garlip's an absolute rip-off, but
I know there was always
yeah.
the questions. I think it was Triple M that would ask the silly questions like, "Are you happy with your current home insurance?"
Yeah, your tax return. Or
Yeah,
what do you
on
think
your
about the
tax
state of
return.
the
what's the one he
North
does
Korean
with,
government?
what's
Yeah.
the one they do with Adam Treloar every year?
North
The
Korean government.
The North
Yeah,
Korean,
yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
it's
Yeah, because
fantastic.
he said in the
Rocket
first,
They call it Trump. Rocket Man.
his
I
first
gotta give him
answer.
credit for that. That
His
was pretty
first
good.
answer was like, "Oh yeah, I back the North Korean government," and now they just can't stop asking him because he had no idea what was.
Well, they asked him the other night, yesterday, and he's just looking. He's like, I don't know, mate. I don't know. I've got no thoughts.
Yeah.
There
on
was
this
one time he came prepared for an answer. Oh, I knew this was coming.
But what about
I'm-
Jesse Hogan
And now
last
he's
night?
just sick of it.
Did you
Oh,
see
the
Jesse
chess?
Hogan last night? Yeah. He's handing his phone like, "Do you reckon you can finish this piece?" And he's like, "What level are you at?" I was like, "I don't know, mate." He's like, "Oh, if it's a high level, I don't want to embarrass myself because I'm pretty good at this game." And he got it straight away, and he's pretty
Yeah.
chuffed with himself,
Man, he,
Yeah, right.
he had an unreal season, Jesse.
mate.
I was so happy for him.
Just
this year.
quietly, like I don't know about you guys, but I love the stories of
Me too,
your
the
athletes.
journeyman.
Well, it was at Melbourne, right? And then he had his troubles there. He went to Freo.
I mean, everyone
Like,
has
and
everyone has
Mate,
problems.
It's
in
called
media.
me and my boss.
Yeah.
Me and my boss say it is the coffin. You go to Fremantle and ruin your career.
Oh my God, you go and die.
You literally leave and you become a superstar. Look at Blake Akers.
It's like the Washington
yeah.
Wizards of the.
Oh,
of the
you go
AFL.
there. Like Kyle Kuzma's doing all right, but
Look at
mate,
Lachie
Jordan
Schultz.
Poole, shit.
Yeah.
Look at Lachie Schultz.
He could have done better. But
Look at Brody Holland. Look at Dutchie. Yeah, he's going to be on the live show. If you haven't bought a ticket, get your tickets, mate. Shameless plug.
interject that one there just quietly. Yeah.
Mate, it was on topic. You're talking about people who leave Fremantle and become superstars
They do.
That was Brody Holland perfectly.
Well, let's see if I can remember. Like, there's a couple of other footballers. Like Blake Akers, I think, is the biggest one to name.
Yep.
Chera still hasn't lived up to the hype, I don't reckon.
Yeah.
Oh, he's done pretty all right.
He's done all right. But who else? I'm trying to think.
But no hype.
Well, I always.
Oh,
you look
Maine.
Yeah,
Chris
exactly.
Maine.
Chris Maine.
Chris Maine.
Also, who's the? I just had it. The bloke
Paul
that went to
Medhurst.
Medhurst, but then there was the other fella, Weller, who went to Gold Coast, and I reckon he had a better
yeah.
career at Gold Coast. Lockie Weller played
Yeah,
very
Lachie
well.
Weller. He's a very good player.
But yeah, Fremantle is I get ripped into back home because I always rip into Freo, but they're
How good would Fife have been if he left?
How good would he have been? He's won 2 Brownlows.
I know.
but What I'm are you just on saying- about?
I'm just saying the magical ability. If he's won 2 Brownlows at Freo, and every time if you leave, you just unlock these hidden levels to you. I'm just saying, imagine
another good. I don't know how I forgot this, but what about Lloyd Meek?
Lloyd Meek!
The big
How did I
Meekie.
forget about that?
Yeah, Meek Monday. We love it.
He was ridiculous.
Blessed are the
this
meek.
year. He was fucked.
Blessed are the meek.
The Messiah. Lloyd Meek. I remember watching him play one game, and the first game I think was for Fremantle, and I was at this game, and I'm just very chirpy. Like if Fremantle are playing poorly, I'll just make some comments and get abused, and it's great.
Yeah.
So you can imagine what I was like when we beat them in WA when the Cats beat them.
Glorious.
That was. Oh, I was bricked up.
Are
I
you
was
like
so
those one
excited.
against the West Coast?
No.
Or you got a bit
Only
more
Freo
respect?
because my partner supports Freo, my dad supports Freo, everyone supports Freo. I'm like, fuck them. I just like getting under people's skin
I don't
sometimes.
know why. What inspires you to barrack for Fremantle when West Coast exists?
How? I don't know. Well, it's purely because I'm from Fremantle. I'm from East Fremantle.
Oh, literally just because you're just born there.
Yeah.
And you live there.
we live in Fremantle, which is pretty poor. I support, a Victorian club that is an hour away from Melbourne, but
That's what I do. I barrack for a team that's an hour away from my house.
well, technically it's just, drive across the Nullarbor for a day and a half and then you're in Geelong from WA. So
Very close, around the corner.
yeah, mate, it's just I'm
It's
there
all
in 2
right.
seconds.
I mean, no one likes to travel to Geelong over here anyway. It's a weird town. Have you been to Geelong?
2010, yeah.
It's a weird town.
I was going to go down on the train, if we won.
Don't go.
Why not?
There's
What-
some sketchy cats out there.
Good Lord.
Oh, wait, no.
Fuck.
We can't lose our Geelong fan base here.
It's too
so,
late.
no.
We've already lost them a long
Well, you've
time
lost
ago.
me. I'm about to get up and walk out of this podcast.
All right, on that note, we'll have a little break. We'll see you on the flip side, guys. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you had a wonderful break. We're not long yet for this show. Hope you've had a good time so far.
Yeah, I won't be coming back, but
we'll take that as yes. Great success. All right, we're going to end off with one. We're going to end on a final question before you plug your stuff, because I refuse to not feel sorry for Big O. I have a big soft spot for the Big O in my heart. It might have something to do with the Rhino stuff, but I definitely want him to succeed.
Yep.
And I think if there was a bye before the grand final, he would have had a bit more time to rest that shoulder up before rocking up. Do you agree with me? Do you think it's maybe better to stuff that pre-finals bye and then just have a pre-grand final bye?
If I was to touch on your point of like the week getting him back, just from obviously my occupation being a strength and conditioning coach, he went to hospital. I don't know what the scans were, but it wouldn't have taken a week. He dislocated his shoulder twice. There is a strong likelihood that he had a lot of structural damage there, and he probably might have to get surgery. Like, I don't know the extent of it, but I don't think a week would have been enough. But if we remove Oscar McInerney out of the equation, and
if we're talking about a player with concussion,
with a concussion, or someone like might have. There's a thing that we call back home, like with your hammy, you can get like a grade 0, which is like a neural awareness where it feels like you've done your string but you haven't.
Right.
All you need to do is like manage your load and stuff like that.
What happened to Rosie?
I don't know.
That was more nerve, I reckon.
Yeah.
So it is grade 0.
Yeah. So potentially. But then again, so I do agree with you on that note, but the Big O wise, he wouldn't have been playing either way if he played the week bye. But I reckon there should be a week bye.
Yep.
Before the grand final.
Yeah, I'd prefer that over the pre-finals bye.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, well, what would you do for that week though? You'd be bloody antsy, wouldn't you?
You'd have Katy Perry going crazy.
Mate, you'd be, exactly. You'd have Katy Perry going.
Yeah.
You would also have the likes of, you'd buy some more Rhino nasal spray and get yourself prepared,
You'd be walking around the Botanic Gardens.
Here we go. Yeah, Botanical Gardens, not doing, exactly right.
We keep
going for a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just walking.
Yeah. Looking at the flowers.
Looking at the flowers,
with potential butterflies and then thinking about Gary Ryan.
Birds. You see some birds and bees out there.
That's a nice bird, isn't it?
It's a very nice bird.
Oh, flap.
Sorry, this is inside joke. You don't need to know about it. But no, I think, I understand where people will be coming from, saying, hey, if you have the pre-finals bye, it means all the top 8 teams benefit and get everyone ready to go for a great final series. But at the same time, I feel like, mate, this is the grand final. This is the 2 teams. This is the creme de la creme. We want them to be in tip-top shape, because after this, there's no more 42 March. So I think it's more important that the grand finalists come in best shape as possible.
Exactly right. It goes on your point, because at the end of the day, from a neutral's perspective now, and going and watching the game on Saturday, you obviously don't want it to be a blowout, and you can almost think as well, like if we would go back to the 2010 grand final.
You love a grand final blowout, don't you?
Fuck yeah. I was hoping that was going to happen on the weekend.
That Sydney one was over a quarter time.
And then Port Adelaide, that was fantastic.
And the Port Adelaide one, exactly.
So, but going on my point of the 2010, like you look at St Kilda versus Collingwood, right?
Oh, mate.
Yep.
They backed that game up the week after. And you look what happened to one of the teams. It's like the same thing could happen this weekend.
Correct.
Brizzy have had a tougher run.
That's what I'm worried about.
I personally don't think it's going to happen, because I thought that was going to happen against the Cats and it didn't.
Yeah.
They responded quite well. They looked like in that halfway through that second quarter, I was like, I reckon we're going to run them off their feet here. I reckon we're going to win by 30 points plus. But
doing it off of 1 week, but it's different to doing it after 2 weeks. They had to come back from 44 points down, and then they had to turn things around against you guys.
Yeah.
I'm just worried, again, that the Sydney supporters out there will be saying, well, that's why you need to finish top 4, genius.
Well, that's why we've got the top 4, right? Because theoretically, you're in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I do reckon that there should be the week off before the grand final.
Here.
100%.
Here. And you're going to be heading off to the grand final.
I will be.
You said this. Yep. You're going to be doing some things beforehand as well.
Yep.
Where can all of our wonderful viewers find you, follow you, so that they can not miss out any of that awesome content?
Well, obviously on the day of the G, I'll be at the Players Association at QT. I think it's QT.
Man,
I think that's mint. So it'll be good. I don't know what players are going to be there. I think Juddy will be there. I think I might have that right. But then, I'll just be wandering the G just before the game, and you'll probably see me wearing a Geelong scarf, and just, if I approach you, don't be alarmed. I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions that you have no idea how to answer. really.
So they should be alarmed then.
Yeah, it depends on how you look at it, really, doesn't it?
They don't know how to answer, and they'll have a camera in my face.
Make sure all your senses are tuned in on Friday.
Yeah, just lock in. I'm going to come at you, and I'm going to ask you a question that you'd be like, "The fuck? What does that mean?" So, it would be a bit of fun. And then
Are dogs and cats being eaten in Ohio right now?
exactly right. Yes, but when I played have you played cornball before? Is it cornball or cornhole? Cornhole. Yeah, cornhole.
Yeah.
I was playing that in Ohio the other day with dogs.
Really?
Yeah.
Good game.
100%. Very good game. I remember when I was down at the Muck and Wooden Rodeo when we were playing Uno. We were playing cornhole too.
Oh, Uno, mate.
Yeah, mate. Pretty good.
It's the best.
Yeah. So that's an example of just talking shit. So
Just talking shit.
and then you can follow me at Callan Robbo on Instagram. Yeah.
Callan, Robert, Instagram, Steveo. Thanks so much, mate.
No worries, mate. Thanks, Matt.
You reckon you can get a lifetime supply of the Rhino nasal spray for us?
Oh, gee.
Yeah, we need to sponsor
How about we reach out to the big O and
we need to be sponsored, mate.
Yeah, nasal spray, mate.
I'll tweet them.
Yeah, do give him a message,
they
mate.
have an X. Rhinocort have an X.
I hope so.
Shout out, go listen to our podcast. Give us some Rhino spray.
Shout out Rhinocort. Thanks for keeping
Rhinocort.
for my nasal.
Didn't even know that company
stuff.
existed, but yeah, thank you. They keeps our noses clear. Whoa, shit. Fantastic.
Yeah, we need those noses clear because you're dirtying our bloody microphone now.
Yeah, sorry.
With all the times you keep hitting it.
So,
It's an absolute pleasure to have you, mate. Honestly, I hope you had a good time. Geelong, unfortunately, didn't get up. But hey, you're still going to enjoy what Victoria has to offer. You're obviously hopefully going to enjoy, hopefully, a cracking grand final like all of us.
let's hope so. Yeah,
Fingers crossed.
let's hope so.
We're going to go through the tip in the next video. So make sure you subscribe, notification bell, like, all that jazz.
Comment a rhino emoji as well. Don't forget that, Steve.
Rhino.
Where the hell is this?
Fantastic.
Where have we gone wrong? I don't know. But make sure you comment the rhino down
Tasmanian rhinos.
Tasmanian two-headed rhinos. We'll see you guys in the tips video. And don't forget, Friday, grand final eve. Very limited tickets are left. So if you haven't got onto it, please run as soon as you can. Get your ticket because, unfortunately, if we're at capacity, we won't let you in and you will be kicking yourself. So we'll see you on Friday.